श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। श्रीशैलाभिजनाम्बुराशिश्रम श्रीकृष्णतातात्मजं श्रीशैलान्वये देवनाथसुधीयः प्राप्तागमान् तद्वयं पादाब्जे नरसिंहताते गुरोर्न्यस्तात्मरक्षाभरं विद्वद्वृन्दचकोरचन्दिरमहं रामानुजार्यं श्रये। रङ्गसुधा मधुसमास्वादयन्तं श्रीरङ्गमहिषी पदपङ्कजात्मजं सुलभाश्रयं सदा मोदसिद्धमद्भुतं भजेऽहं गुरुं तं रङ्गनाथप्रियं सुखासनस्थं हृदयाब्जपीठे चिन्मुद्रया अलङ्कृतपाणिपद्मं शुभोपवीतं विमलोऽर्धपुण्ड्रम् नमामि रङ्गं गुरुम् अन्तरङ्गे नमामि योगसम्राज्ञीं विजयां विजयप्रदां श्रीरङ्गार्धासनासीनां करुणामम मातरं गुरुरूपपरञ्ज्योतिः ज्योतिरूपगुरुः परः अज्ञानमन्दिरं ह्येतत् गुरुविज्ञानमन्दिरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। जयत्ताश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः सकृदेव प्रपन्नाय तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वभूतेभ्यः ददाम्येतद्व्रतं मम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना। With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus, we'll commence our session today. In the previous session, we concluded the sarga of Udbandhana Vyavasaya. Is it? No, we concluded Trijata Swapnam, and we were in the Udbandhana Vyavasaya sarga. And in this sargam, Sita Mata, she continues to look at, in spite of the dream that is narrated to her by Trijata, she is still in a feeling of despondency, and she narrates her feelings once again. We have seen Sa Rakshasendrasya Vacho Nishamya Tad Ravanasya Apriyama Priyarta Sita Vitatrasa Yatha Vanante Simhabhipanna Gajaraja Kanya. She essentially, her state of mind resembled that of an elephant, a she elephant that has been left in the lurch and being encountered by a lion. At the same time, Baleva Kanya Vilalapa Sita Kantara Madhye Vijane Visishta. She is in the middle of the jungle, just like a small girl child, Bala Kanya, and she is continuing to cry in despair, Vilalapa. I think we ended our session in the 6th slokam, if I'm not wrong. The 6th slokam, which says, Tasmin Anagachilti Lokanate Garbhasta Jantoriva Shalyakrintaha. She says that it is okay for me to commit suicide, just like the doctor, in this case, a surgeon who is acting on a pregnant lady. In order to save the lady, the barber kind of kills the embryo inside. In a similar manner, it is perfectly fine for me to commit suicide. That is where we ended in the last session. Dukkam batedam mama dukkitaya maso chiraya dhigamishyato dvau बद्धस्य वत्स्यस्य तथा निशान्ते राजोपरोधादिव तस्करस्य. Alas, look at the kind of dukkham that I am going through right now. I hardly have 2 months left with me. Dvau masau, isn't it? That is the limit that Ravana has given to her. And my state is very similar to that of a thief who is going to get executed on the next morning, and I'm going through that night. Okay. So imagine the kind of trauma that the thief will go through. He knows that he is going to get executed by the Raja because he has done a Raja Aparadham, and he is a Taskara, he is a thief. And the state of mind that this thief will go through at Nishante, at the end of the night, I am in a very similar situation right now. It is very, very difficult to go through. And she continues her crying. Ha Rama, ha Lakshmana, ha Sumitre, ha Rama Matas Sahame Jananya. Yesha Vipadyamyah Ahamalpabhagya Mahanave Nauriva Mudhavata. One more analogy she is giving to herself. Maharnave Nauriva Mudhavata. Imagine a boat or a ship is essentially under the control of some kind of a cyclone or a whirlwind. Mudhavatam. And the Vatam is kind of foolish. It doesn't know where to go. So the wind is going hither, thither. Basically, some kind of a cyclone. I am in a similar situation. Therefore, Vipadyami aham. There is no other option. I am going to get perished anyway. And she is crying out aloud, Ha Rama, Ha Lakshmana. Interestingly, the third person is Ha Sumitra. Okay, she is not telling her mother-in-law. You don't want to refer your mother-in-law as the first port of entry. So she's saying Ha Sumitra, Ha Rama Mataha. Okay, so she's continuing with Kausalya Mata, and then her own mother, Sahame Jananyaha. Tarasvino Dharayata Mrigasya Sattvena Rupam Manujendra Putrau Nunam Vishastau Mama Karanatau Simharshabhau Dvaviva Vaidyutena. So she is continuing to think why Rama and Lakshmana are still not here, in spite of knowing my status. And the fact that I am at the mercy of Rakshasas, it is quite surprising why they are still not here. Now, for the next couple of slokas, she is going to think about what could be the potential reasons or causes why they are not here. So, Simharshabhau, they are both lion among men, isn't it? And perhaps they have been killed by the Mrigam, the deer that was chasing me. The deer that I saw, and then of course Rama went after, and Lakshmana also went after it. It is quite possible that they were kind of killed by the deer itself. The deer may have been a big demon, and Rama and Lakshmana were killed by that in a manner that is similar to Vaidyutena Vishastau, as if they were two mighty lions. Imagine the only way two lions can die in a forest. They are the kings of the forest. The only way they can perhaps die is when they are at the mercy of the weather, like Vidyut or lightning. They perhaps have been struck by lightning. That's the analogy she is giving. So the Mrigam or deer is basically some kind of a lightning coming from nowhere, and it has killed both Rama and Lakshmana. Nunam sakalo mrigarupadhari mamalpabhagyam lulubhe tadanim yatrarya putram visasarja mudha ramanujam lakshmana purvajam cha. Or it is also possible, Nunam saha kalaha mrigarupadhari. So the Kala, Yama came in the form of this deer. Tadanim, Alpabhagyam, Mam Lulubhe, that deer accomplished its objective of enticing me. It made me to get tempted, isn't it? That's what Sita is reflecting on. Mam Lulubhe, Yatra Mudhaha Ramanujam Lakshmana Purvajam Aryaputram Visasarja. So it was foolish on my part. I should not have sent both Rama and Lakshmana to go after that deer, one after the other. How foolish I was. So she's right now reflecting on we all know how she scolds Lakshmana, isn't it? She makes it imperative for Lakshmana to leave that very moment, isn't it? The kind of words she uses there. Of course, she could not differentiate between the whether it was Rama or the deer that was shouting Ha Lakshmana, Ha Sita, right? She could not differentiate whether it was her own husband or the Rakshasa. But she started to scold Lakshmana left, right, and center. And it was foolish on my part. This is the place where she is reflecting on that. I should not have sent Lakshmana also away. And that's the reason why I am in this state now. Ha Rama Satyavrata Dirgha Bhavo, Ha Purna Chandra Pratimana Vaktra, Ha Jiva Lokasya Hitah Priyascha, Madhyam Namam Vetsihi Rakshasanam. She now turns her ire or her feelings towards Lord Ramachandra. See how she is addressing her. Rama Satyavrata, right? You are somebody who takes vows truthfully and only truthful vows. You are a Dirgha Bahu, meaning you have very long bahus, as long as 1 mile. No, it basically means you are strong armed. That's the meaning. Purna Chandra Pratimana Vaktra, your face resembles that of a full moon. And these are all his physical attributes, isn't it? Now she goes one step above and says, you are a Jivalokasya Hitaha Priyascha. You are somebody who is adorned not just by me, but this entire Jivalokam. So this is another hidden slokam in Srimad Ramayana where Pirati herself, goddess herself, is elevating Lord Ramachandra to the status of Paramatman, one who can take care of all the Jivatmas. She is saying both Satyam Bruyat, Hitam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam. This Hitam and Priyam come together, isn't it? Here also in this slokam we see that. Jiva Lokasya Hitaha Priyascha. He is not only somebody who does good for everybody, right? For நல்ல ஒரு குரு இருக்கலாம். ஆனால் for some reason, let's say he is not so good looking, then you will find, unfortunately, that in this world they will have very few followers. So they have to actually go to a beautician today, to get them groomed very well. You have to also look Priyaha. So Satyaha, Priyaha. And Lord Ramachandra has that automatically with him. She qualifies in the previous line, Purna Chandra Pratimana Vaktra. And don't you understand me, Vadhyam? I am ready to get killed by the Rakshasa. Where are you? Ananya Devattvamiyam Kshamacha Bhumau cha Shayya Niyamascha Dharme Pativratattvam Vipalam Mamedam Kritam Kritagnesh Manushana. So she starts to reflect again. Okay, you are the Lord of the Jivalokam. Not only that, I have explained who you are. Now she's turning focus on herself and the kind of penance or tapas that she has done. Okay, so these are all part of Prapatti Prayogam. You are kind of expressing yourself and surrendering to the Lord course, ordinary Jivatmas will not tell what Sita Mata is saying here. Okay, so we'll all say we have committed a lot of sins. Please, take care of us. May nullify all the sins. But Sita Mata is not saying that. Ananya Daivatvam, isn't it? This is one of the key tenets of Prapatti, that you should resort to only one and only Lord. Okay, one and only Daivatam. Because you will get confused in the margam that you are following. I have adopted that strategy, right? Iyam Kshamacha, I have been extremely tolerant and perseverant. Bhumau Shaya, I have slept on the ground here, isn't it? With a great fortitude and perseverance. What more do you want? What more do you expect of me? And Dharme Niyamascha, I have adopted extreme discipline. I have been following Dharma. More importantly, Pativratatvam. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. I have never thought of a second person in my life. And I have done all of this. But it looks like all of this has gone in vain. Okay. It doesn't seem to, impress upon you. She is using some harsh words here. She is saying, Kritagneshu Manushanam Kritamiva Vipalam. Just like you do any number of activities to somebody who is Kritagna or thankless. So therefore, whatever karma you do, they will not give you immediate benefits for you. Perhaps I am in such a similar situation. Everything has gone futile. That is exactly what she is saying in this lokam. All the tapas that I have followed, she is perhaps reflecting that this, she is going to say later. Either you are not listening to whatever I have done, you are not giving any marks to all of this, or these things are not enough. Whatever I have done, perhaps I have to increase them by 2x or 3x. That's what she is going to say shortly. Mogho hi dharmascharito mayayam tathaika patni tvamidam nirartham yatvam na pashyami krisha vivarna hina tvaya sangamane nirasha. Whatever I have accomplished so far is vritha, mogam, okay? And that includes dharma as well as ekapatnitvam. Everything has gone effortless, nirartham, unless I see you, isn't it? That is the phalam that she is expecting of the karma that she has done. And look at my status. I have become krisha vivarna hina. Right? I have become somebody who is pale, who has shrunk herself in size. Okay. And there is no hope for me in reuniting with you. What a worthless situation I am right now into. Right? So these are all the states of mind she has been pushed into with ultimate despair. Pitur nidesham niyamena kritva vanan nivrittascharitavratascha stribhistu manye upalekshanabhihi tvam ramsyase vita bhayakritarthaha. Is now turning her attention on Lord Rama, right? Okay, I have been a lady who has done enough, but I have not got whatever I need to get as a karma phalam. Perhaps what you may do, I am going to now project or predict. What is she saying? Tvam pituhu nidesham niyamena kritva. You have followed whatever your father has asked you to do. Okay, 13 years என்னோட இருந்துட்டேன். Last 1 year போச்சு, சீதா கிளம்பி போயிட்டாளா, நல்லதா போச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, right? See, you may think that what can I do? I have spent a lot of time searching for her. There is no point in searching for her anymore. And let me at least complete the pledge I had given my father. I'll complete all my 14 years. Vanat nivirtaha. Right? Then you may go back to Ayodhya without any fear. Vita bhaya. Okay? அது வரைக்கும் பயம் இருந்திருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். The moment he thinks that Sita is no more with me, all his bayam has disappeared. That's what slight sense of humor Sita Mata is giving here. Kritarthaha, what you may do, you may go back to Ayodhya and you may spend your time with, Vipulekshanabihi, large-eyed damsels, you may forget me and get married to a lot of other ladies. Manye, that is what I think. Okay. This is the statement that she is very interesting here. The fact that, the kind of negative and positive emotions that this brings about. So it is perfectly human. Even with somebody who has done all this vratam, dharma, etc., to be saying all this, right? What to talk of people who do not follow any of this and still say such things, isn't it? So this reflects the human nature here, and how tolerant one should be here. So it's quite important to note that whatever she is telling there, she is perhaps muttering, okay, telling something to herself as well as speaking out. So those who are nearby will obviously hear, including our hero, Lord Hanuman, who is there. He would also be hearing all of this. Imagine what would he be undergoing right now. நம்ம ஹீரோ இப்படி சொல்லிட்டாலே அப்படின்னு ஒரு இஸ் டாக்கிங் ஆஃப் லார்ட் ராமா, யூ திங்க் ஹீல் பி லைக் தட் அப்படின்னு பின்னாடி ரெஸ்பான்ஸ்லாம் வரப்போகுது. So he'll keep all whatever she has uttered in mind and then respond later on. Okay, we'll see aspects of that. Aham tu ramatvai jatakama chiram vinashaya nibaddha bhava mogam charitva tapovratam cha tyakshami dhik jeevitam alpabhagya. But O Lord Rama, remember, after 14 years you may go and adopt somebody else as your wife. But I am a jatakama, tvai jatakama, right? It can have two meanings. I have acquired love in you, or I was born with love in you. Jatakama, okay? This is the avatara rahasyam, okay? Many times the avatara purusha doesn't go in search of who is his pattamaishi. They are also born together. It never happens that in all the avatara Puranas, etc., we'll see that they are born together. So perhaps the meaning of Jatakama is I was born with love for you. Okay, I am Jatakama. Aham tu vinashaya chiram nibaddha bhava tapaha vratam cha mogam. Whatever feelings of love I have for you and the austerities that I have done, tapaha, vratam, the different vows that I have taken are all in vain, mogam. Therefore, there is no point in continuing my life. That's what she is saying here. Sa jeevitam kshipramaham tyajeyam vishena shastrena shitena vapi vishasya data nahi mesti kaschit chhatrasya va veshmani rakshasasya. So she is now thinking of different modes of committing suicide. Okay. Sa aham kshipram jeevitam. I'm going to kill myself right away with all any kind of mode that is available to me, either poison, visham, or a weapon, or a knife, a sharp object that's available here. Alas, vishasya data nahi mesti kaschit. Unfortunately, there is nobody here who can supply that poison to me. Okay. Or the other items, shastra markatam, right? Nobody here in the house of Rakshasas perhaps is going to help me with all of this. What does that mean? They have been telling her, we'll cut you into pieces, we'll eat you, we'll make you breakfast, lunch, dinner. In spite of all that, she's saying that nobody is going to give this because she knows that they are all only threatening me. They are not going to really kill me. So she's thinking, even if I have come to the mood of taking my life, I may not be able to do so. அப்படின்னு யோசிக்கிறா. इतीव देवी बहुधा विलप्य सर्वात्मना राममनुस्मरन्ति प्रवेपमाना परिशुष्कवक्त्रा नगोत्तमं पुष्पितमाससाद அப்படின்னு யோசிச்சுட்டே she started to amble around there Bahuda Vilapya. We don't know. Valmiki, just like they cut all the dialogues in some movies, he may have cut many more dialogues that she would have spoken. That's why he is using one word called Bahuda Vilalapa. Okay. So it is left to Kavi's imagination. Sarvatmana Ramam Anusmaranti. She kept on thinking of Lord Ramachandra only. Pravepamana, and her status at that point of time was she was trembling and she had a pale face. And with all that, she went very close to Nagottamam, the great tree called Shimshupa Vriksham, right, which is where Lord Hanuman is. Pushpitam Asasada. She went very close to that tree. Okay, she went close to that Shimshupa Vriksham. शोकाभितप्ता बहुधा विचिन्त्य सीतात वेण्युद्ग्रथनं गृहीत्वा उद्बध्य वेण्युद्ग्रथनेन शीघ्रम् अहं गमिष्यामि यमस्य मूलम्. She finally figured out that there is one weapon which is still there with me, which is my own veni, okay, my own hair, which I can use to kill myself. That is what she is saying here. Okay. I can perhaps go near the branch of this tree and hang there, tie the veni around my neck or whatever it is. That's what she's thinking, unfortunately. And she is completely drowned in shokam there. Venyudgartanena udbadhya venyudgartanena shigram. So she perhaps had a very long bride. Okay. Sorry. उपस्थिता सा मृदु सर्वगात्री शाखां गृहीत्वाथ नगस्य तस्यास्तु रामं प्रविचिन्तयन्त्या रामानुजं स्वञ्चकुलं शुभाङ्ग्याः शोकानिमित्तानि तथा बहूनि धैर्यार्जितानि प्रवराणि लोके प्रादुर्निमित्तानि तदा बभूवुः पुरापि सिद्धान्युपलक्षितानि. She is a mrudu sarvagatri. All her limbs are all extremely delicate. So Shakam Grihitva. So she went and almost caught hold of a branch and she is about to tie her veni there. So this is the edge she is pushed into. Okay. And she has made a decision now. There is nobody she is going to listen. And she Ramam Pravichintya. Ramanujam. Swancha Kulam. So somebody when they are letting go of their body, this is another ideal maybe, So she's thinking of Rama, she's thinking of Lord Lakshmana because he has done a lot of seva for her. Okay. And Swancha Kulam. So she's thinking of her Kulam and then she is now saying, okay, let me leave my body. At that point of time, right, she starts to see certain good signs in her body. Okay. Good omen that, for example, even Trijata alludes to it in the previous Sargam. I am seeing, she is already saying, I am seeing a lot of good signs like twitching of the eyes and so on, isn't it? So that episode recurs now for Sita Mata. So she is saying, Siddhani Upalakshitani. These are Purapi Siddhani Upalakshitani. These are good signs that have been seen in the past by Siddhas, and they are in a manner that Dhairyarjitani Pravarani Loke. When somebody gets those signs, it basically means that something good is going to happen. And that is what happens at that very moment when she tries to tie her veni to the branch. Ityarse Srimad Ramayana Valmiki Adikavye चतुर्विंशतिकायां संहितायां सुंदरकांडे उद्बंधन व्यवसायो नाम अष्टाविंशः सर्गः. So this is the Udbandhana Vyavasaya. So the chapter is named after the last event that is described. She is going to tie herself to the tree. Okay. The next chapter is called Shubha Nimittani. Maybe I'll just take a couple of slokas there and then we'll end our session today. तथागतां तां व्यथितामनिन्दितां vyapeta harsham paridina manasam shubham nimittani shubhani bhejire naram shriya justamivopajivinaha tathagatam, as expected, right? Or a lady who is in that state of mind, vyatitam, aninditam, she is faultless. Vyapeta harsham, all her joy has been robbed. Okay, that is her state there. Paridina manasam, distressed in mind to the extreme. But Shubham, she is also an auspicious lady. Isn't Shubham Hiranya Prakaram Samudra Tanayam Jayam? Yeah. So Mahalakshmi's names. And she is now being bestowed with auspicious things, Shriya. And what are those Shubha Nimittani that she is going to see now? That is going to be narrated here. Tasya Shubham Vama Marala Pakshma Rajivritam Krishna Vishala Shuklam Praspandataikam Nayanam Sukeshya Minahatam Padma Mivabhitamram. I'll probably, this is a very short sargam. I'll simply tell you the different types of Shubha Nimittam that she sees. Okay. The very first one that she sees, I mean, they are describing how beautiful, the Kavi is describing her eyes, eyelashes, and even her, the white part of her eye, and especially her left eye starts to twitch. So that's the first Shubham. Okay. Vamanayanam Minahitam Abhitamram Ekam Padmamiva. It started to twitch in a manner like when a fish suddenly touches the petal of a lotus and then drops back into the pond. What happens to that petal? So it starts to waver a little bit. So that is the upamanam that the Kavi is giving. So when her left eye starts to twitch. Bhujascha charvanchitapina vrittah paradhya kala garuchandanarha anuttamena dhishita priyena chirena vama samavepatashu. The second important sign, the Kavi describes Sita Mata's left shoulder now. Those shoulders are so curved and round and stout that is where her Lord used to perhaps rest his head or face. And they deserve to be smeared with sandals. Pararthya Kala Agaru Chandana Arhaha and Anuttamaha. These are the best shoulders that somebody can see. And that shoulder started to throb. Samavepata. That is the second sign. Okay, first sign is left eye twitching. The second is the left shoulder throbbing. Gajendra hasta pratimascha pinaha tayo doyo samhatayo sujataha praspandamana punarururasya ramam purasta sthitimaja chakshe. The third one, Gajendra hasta pratima, resembling the elephant's trunk. Now the Kavi turns his attention to the Uru, the left thigh of Sita Mata. And that also started to praspandamana. It also started to throb. And so there's a description of how beautiful Sita Mata is here. Shubham punarhema samanavarnam ishadrajodhvastamivamalakshyaha vasasthitaya shikaragradatyaha kinchit parisram satacharugatryaha. Punaha Amalakshaha. She is somebody whose eyes are really amalam. There is no malam there. Okay, very beautiful to look at. Shikaragra Dantyaha. Teeth are all rightly rounded and edged like the peaks of mountains. Charugatriya, her limbs are all extremely beautiful. Such a lady. And Hema Samana Varnam Ishat Rajodhvastamiva Vasaha Kinchit Parisramsata. The fourth Shubha sign, that happened here is Kavi is describing the robe that she was wearing. It was golden hues in color, isn't it? That's what we all know. And that vastram slightly slipped from her body very slightly. It did not fall off. So there is a sign that she is quite stable and steady, and she is in a pose where she is going to tie herself to the tree, isn't it? So at that point of time, the vastram slightly slipped away. This is the fourth sign that the Kavi spotted there. एतैर्निमित्तैरपरैश्च सुभ्रूः सम्बोधिता प्रागपि साधुसिद्धैः वातातपङ्क्लातमिव प्रनष्टं वर्षेण बीजं प्रतिसञ्जहर्ष. In a manner that a seed which has been dry for many years and suddenly there is an outpouring of rain, right? These Shubha signs, auspicious signs suddenly happened in Sita Mata. And most importantly, it also says that there were other omens that were seen. And she started to notice them. That is very important. So we see that although she is in that state and she is going to commit suicide, she is ever observant. See, we may all miss to notice some good signs that are happening around us. So this is another lesson as to how attentive we should be. She notices them and she happened to become happy. Pratisanjarsha. Tasya punarbimba phaladaroshtham swakshibhruke shantamaralapakshma vaktram babhase smita shukladamstram rahor mukha chandra iva pramuktaha. Punarbimba phaladaroshtham. She did not wear any lipsticks, but she had lips that resembled the bimba fruit. And she had excellent eyes and the keshas, right? And her entire face started to, shine in a manner. Smita Shukla Damstram, Rahor Mukha Chandraiva Pramuktaha. Just like when the Grahanam, the Rahu Grahanam, Rahu Grasta, Chandra Grahanam, they say, isn't it? The moment that the eclipse completes and the full moon again shines back, in a very similar manner, Sita Mata's face started to light up. Savita shoka vyapanita tandri shantajvara harsha vivruddha sattva ashobhatarya vadanena shukle shitamshuna ratri rivoditena. At that point of time, she just started to think that perhaps these are good signs, auspicious signs that great Siddha Purushas have seen earlier. And she felt a little relieved from all the stress that she was going through. Vyapanita Tandri. Shanta Jwara, all the fear that she had, that started to leave her slowly, one after the other. And she started to get engulfed with Harsham. Harsha Vibhuddha Sattva. It started to reflect in her mind also. Apart from Vadanena, her face started to glow in a manner that, you see the Shitamshuna Ratri Riva Uditena Chandrena, in a manner that of moonrise happening, isn't it? In a similar manner, Sita Mata's face started to glow from that point of time. So this is a very important turning point in the chapter. Remember, she did not fall for the dreams of Trijata, nor the assurances that Trijata gave, your husband is going to come, etc. But what has helped her finally is these auspicious signs that says that there is some lot of sattvam or truth to those things, right? When they happen, we should know what they are and adopt it in our lives. Srimad Ramayana Valmiki Adi Kavye Chaturvimshastikayam Samhitayam Sundara Kande Shubha Nimittani Nama Ekonatrimshas Sargaha. So this will conclude our session here. Apologies for the technical glitches which happened earlier.
Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Samsara मुक्तः गुरुचरणाम्बुज कृष्ण कृष्ण सेन्द्रियम् नियमदेवम् द्रक्षसि निज हृदयस्थम् देवम् भज गोविन्दम् भज गोविन्दम् गोविन्दम् भज मूढमते
कायेन वाचा मनसा इन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्या आत्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। सर्वं श्रीरामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु। Have a great day and a week ahead.
Thank you. Namaskar.